If the boss out to be out of MIT technology room, must take out to be or the MIT Tata out of technology, the similarity in the whole family of conglomerates of multinational company, not out of the diversification, out of mental vocation, not one that's no out to be my of my inheritance, what out for Hitler, out to buy the build out to be after Hitler's death 1981 of Patrick Alavi for Brown out to be of Elizabeth Lusters out of Brown out to be the president of Hitler Society Matahari convulsion. And now out to be an farming out of that, further improvement out of solar panel, out of Junghans radio was for the deformation in Hitler's University of Cologne, out of the pest society, and a question mark out to be of the work and life out to be of which and wants to be. Because of Panasonic solar glass, or was that the working methodic out to be, or the rest of Ebola pests out to be? I'd like not all bookmark out to be out of Stern freezing out to be. I predicted the DNA out to be getting a use out of pros and similarity of parasite problematic out to be not 170 million out of flip marketing 100 million for me and Paris out to be. Was that a Kafikani of Hitler Society Quant? Was that a Kaup of Plattenrand? Was that the Linear Coup brand out coming out of Zend? Or had we something out of flat up of flattened up or reality? Out of the question mark of the Pandora box, was that like Heiligtum, Steffi Gott, alles Heiligtum, from your biogas reference out to be? Cappuccino, semi-lingual, beast and that in similarity, the lighter out to be, the level of the party playing intellectuality. A bitch chat out to be, did you know what that hate our bump up to be? I'm Brüstebutz and wants to be. Out of Rutsch, Ruckner, Hitler, Rückner out to be. Thomas Ruckner, Hilton, Misorder, Similarity, Hukala, ECC. Every vision wants to be. Which out to be? Bump up the bitch, ECC chat similarity. Anthony for the society. Did you know the no? Will Smith doesn't know the reality.
Into the back and forth. There are other factors. Also,
nice wear, so.
And they're coming out of our way, Surfing USA, good vibration, huh? Surfing USA, yeah?
I can tell.
I'm aggressive. What are you laughing about?
Was it out of the ghostwriter questioning out of the contract out of Zion? Windenbach contract out of the Zeppelin Brun? Or was that out of the last for emancipation SVOC of Risk River Spoon in a comparison out to be of D.H. Larry Shetterly and the first pornographic out to be woman and love for the reality, impact similarity on the farming out to be from Shanghai, out of San Francisco Bay, Los Angeles out to be the society in the farming out of transparency and impact and on-speak supreme of impact out to be in the similarity, huh? interesting out of the Department of Defense out to be in the similarity of our bombing out. Not that the Duffy out of the blanket of Charlie Brown had the urination out of the briefhebel problem out to be. Was it the Uncle Stinker out of Patrick Alavi behind in the Vincent's Alley like out to be. Not the treasury of 7 million revenue out to be of profit of Martina del Civala. How we finance Radio Television Luxembourg in our sit-room out to be. The question mark out to be. Was it against Hitler Breuer out to be of CEO of German Bank. After Vatican, the rest of the genetic flowing out to be the other guy out. With a question mark, need you for DJ 121, the George Ford grandson out to be, also a warning for Durant, Wilson wants to be a great mom behaviorman, what we had understand out to be, semi-lingual Hitler's out to be, and the Legion doesn't know, we had bio graduation, high school to or the outbreak of semi-lingual, had never lead INIC, had not a simulation of correlation, wants to play to be, every flat can do is nothing out at the branch, lawyer won't kill you out of essence, watching a similarity, the guess is Günther Fress, and that is Luciano in reality and saying that in the face not 1/4 of his life to be a lifelong learning out of the Neanderthal. That's not Hitler's vision wants to be hung. Out of roundabout to plague to be to kill a prompter, to kill the do reality. Oh, better now to be. Vanessa Schmitz, alias Ivanka Dorf, Basti, Hasti, Hitler, semi-lingual club. Never in the policy, I don't think wish to be for the
AI.
Was there an animated character or a figurine that you had growing up that you were like obsessed with?
Ninja Turtles was huge when I was a kid, and I really, I
think out to be and some zero and some city remit less social interaction in 99 and 1/4 to the Terrence Robbie and Muhammad is no missing nose after 90 audio orbit and copy guy doing out TCM and out of body shop humorism out to be out of question mark of Matahari completely out to be and something out of picture of book mentioning out to be there's some question mark out of authenticity or of excessive victim life out of Beresowski, out of Melina Abramovich, also Brixton Society, of Hitler Breuer and ECC, or should I said out of our name out of the Eisenman, out of the work and simulation, or man of Brian Adams ECC and Christoph Adams at ECC, or Hitler's out of the Society from the trainer humorism of Chamong out to be and ECC World Society that we could not prize and some size.
As a teenager,
that information that was not David Hitler of the Hitler genetic disorder. That was me before the Soviet thing was over in 1985. This out of after that was my birthday around about that. And when Nasser Birancomini father out of be off Nassim or Frava Birancomini that was my Soviet thing not bringing me to some city. That was 2 out to be after 1981 out of Humorisman out to be and 1983 IQ testification of student possibility. I could that also in contradiction of our evidence of Hitler's Zentrum Party Dr. von Leyen ECC of Angela Merkel in ECC or threatening the reality.
Columbia University received a formal fresh new Chinese economic data out, and it does show resilience in the face of U.S. tariffs.
Had you ever thought about Christy Luce and Aaron Bonnet and Ernst speak German out to be not out of Halagwani in ECC, but only Pleitgen out to be out of VDR was not the World Drug Report who was but in the Anatolia report of Hitler Society for Father and Determination thought of elimination against the Congress.
I mean,
Tesla has just released the prices for their Model Y on
out of that, did you think there is something out of some sense of humor that I always had described that out to be in a question mark out of what you're thinking out of Ralf Stricher out to be in a question mark of Jimmy Kimmel out to be Don't You Cry My Dear Donna out to be because alias in the Magic Mass production out to be and we need some glass for Johnny Wiesler Porsche 200 million after the Korean competition or Mike Tyson out to be however had the attention of parties ECC not of the tennis club making all flat in the high out to be for Barometshausen and the principal reality out of our big data I must fight starting out to ever to go of New York City out to be for Saturday Saturday Night Live Jens Köppel sprang out zu Italien wish to be what is one alles will nur jetzt high times out of kein Thema mein ganzes Ding auf Polen Zucker aber wir haben wir schon mal zu be what you had out of come again to come as was a foreign decoration that's
that information secret.
The full protection definition of 1990 wish to be Taylor Swift reality.
Toys R Us was purchased for something like
Oh,
$6
sie Leder
billion
Gomez Brown out
and
of it.
$5.2
With the
billion
sickness out
of
of my
that
Richard wants to be off the Richard
and
wants to
only
be.
Toys R Us itself
Oh,
was
out of boy,
responsible
Toys
for
R
paying
Us
that
and
debt.
Metal ECC.
And
Ja, aber wie
Toys
gesagt,
R Us had always
Bestseller
been a
auf
very
Schiller
fiscally
Gymnasium,
conservative
Christopher
company. They
John
did
Mali
not have a lot
ECC.
of debt
Every
ever.
Hitler out of the World
Now all of a sudden they
Society.
were just buried
Oh, my side
in
out
interest
of House of
payments,
Board out of
and
it.
their private
Every
equity
wish I want to be
owners
off our
were
Hitler
not
Society.
helping them
Black
repay
Tent
that
out of
money.
it.
And so the reason Toys R Us went out of business was not Amazon. It was the fact that they didn't have any
What's the
money.
the society, huh?
Hi Vogue, I'm Scarlett Johansson.
And I'm Jonathan Bailey. Today we're going to play Spill the Tea.
What's the most annoying question people have been asking you about the film?
What's it like acting opposite tennis balls? But I completely understand the wonder and the awe of that.
Of how you do it?
Yeah.
But how do you do how do you explain any kind of acting?
Yeah,
How you feel out of the provocation for SVOT, YMCA, and the knigge interpretation of ecumenic ethic and the emergence of Hitler Society movement, obsessively being Anthony G.P.R.Ford and Rattenford and magic mass production out to be of Johnny Beaster Porsche out to be that was the glasses out to be alias John Beckham out to be the falling out of 60 million lost of Victoria's Secret out to be around the world our society ground. Thank you for pounding the idea.
I had $100,000 and I came to you and said, "What?" It's time to.
I think out of Sweeney, it's like out of War Communism by Robert De Niro, out of thing, was it not also some radioactive out of Iranium, out to be of JR, out Islam, out of intolerance, robbery, and 99 out to be in a question mark, out to be all other club members, out to be flattened, ECC, and some question mark of similarity of JLo around the block, out to be step by step, we play acting in upper stand, 1000 flare and stare for the vision wants to be wow, boom, bang, out to be. We had no boy, a manta or not the forming out of animal society that we could not the city remit explain when the forming out of the Nacht der Homoismen out to be with some grizzly bear society and some familiarity of Aristotle, Socrates in the forming out not the, out of Aristotle, the main mentor of Alexander the Greater, our ecstasy victim beat is our four frames out of Carnival Narcap society heat. Out of his desert, out of Gobi, we had something out to be like governor had said, the movement out of truthfully holding left and right out of my poetry, the fleur homoism, you it right and also out to be, was that a question mark of Cambridge out to be, Huffington Post reality, in an all in a club in infiltration, semi-lingual, we buy on high school generation university, and why out corruption out to be, I told you, I had to secure out ECC, could not buy some jet in similarity, 200 members out to be the Quan Society, population like the rat and the hypothetical and the similarity out of the crap out to be. What's the reality of our song? Good who could not to be in the family of a song contact not and freezing out and then be on robbery 1918 on signature for the of artificial lab ECC of Anthony Giovanni not out of or Hitler similar freedom of trade export opinion our chins are not child because he had 124 IQ not temporary wish to be and have a threat in the hand of the enemy but you just playing a done similarity but do cash on misality every atomic to be what's in the hand of we could not get enough ECC medium to believe every video we have sense to see it.
AI.
And out of the totalium war that is for big data confusion out to be what you question out to be the provocation ECC and all foreign decoration and similarity out of similarity once up in place supremacy and supreme after Hitler's interpretation crime every vision wants to be flattened out of the Neander River it's all about reputation and the chanson out of LA cash and money out to be the confidential of reality. Every vision wants to be of the world society, had open a source and open a source of Brush's Garden Mountain in the brain and mountain. Into the pain how to be, and the questioning how to be, that you're finding every isolate, every gender how to be, ECC, every forming of citizenship, at the top on the world 8,000 beyond gas fluctuance and the forming of membership. Excuse me, I predicted you had greater forming out of curiosity often and never somebody quest out to be when I had out of the ambition that finding out of that I posted out to be sometimes out to reciprocation of the 19 lines out of similarity. I predicted Ratantata stone out to be that I had let a gun out to be. We had no treasury of Laura Gavenda, no measure every wish and wants to be of Hitler CCC in the similarity of foreign decoration in the similarity a question mark that I must not describe out to be my life divergence out of life experience. In the forming out of that, I know that out to be in the forming of key tooling out to be the thinking out that has shown also of the things out of essence for listening out to be in the forming of great ambitioning out to be after today in similarity diversity to reciprocate it the second and third time out to be in general out to be not a preference out of other forming out of society of irony but a preference of society movement that I could not describe like other cineasts forming out of similarity from kindergarten age as a duplication effect, not copy effect or similar. Hitler's lawyer out to be had heard a successor Dr. weiter. I predicted in the semi-lingual club of pre-gymnasts out to be of dumpness innovation like Wolfgang von Alles Willem grand photojournals for the reality of dictator DCC. How we had not a chance DCC, we need some JSS for society. Yeah. Out of that, when the question mark of venture capital must I not get in detail, or could you say what